"Are you too ill to go on?" he asked. "No." "You can bear the effort and excitement?" "I can bear anything." His foot moved towards the edge of the step on which he stood. "Genevieve," he had stopped again. "Yes," she murmured wearily. "Do you love me?" Her form, which up to that moment had held itself erect by the mere force of a will exerted to the utmost, suddenly yielded and expressed in every curve a feminine softness. "With all my heart," she murmured. "Then," said he, "I am content." And his foot passed over the edge of the step. There was no further delay. In a moment they were at the foot of the stairs, and in another had entered the parlor under the gaze of 500 pairs of eyes. As they did so, a murmur expressive of something more than admiration arose behind them, and Dr. Cameron, tortured by anxiety, cast another look at his bride. She was pale, and her eyes were surrounded by great circles, but it was a woman who moved beside him, and a determined woman, too, and the change brought comfort to his heart, and made the rest of his walk down the room less of an ordeal than their entrance had been. The clergyman was an old man, and had doubtless married 1,000 couples. To him there was nothing strange in a pallid and weary-looking bride and a nervous, deeply excited bridegroom. He gave them a benevolent glance, lifted his book, and began the service. But there were some persons present, relatives and friends of the contracting parties, who felt there was something unusual in the affair, and craned their necks to get a glimpse of the bride's face, wholly forgetful of the splendor of her jewels, and the priceless lace of her veil, which under other circumstances would have attracted all their attention. The bride, however, did not lift her eyes, and when she spoke in answer to the minister's questions, the reply she gave was uttered in a voice so low that no one heard it but the bridegroom and the minister. But this is not unusual with brides, and the ceremony proceeded, and the time came for placing the ring on her finger. But here a difficulty arose. For some reason best known to herself, Miss Greatorex had preferred to be married without bridesmaids. There was therefore no one at hand to assist her in taking off her glove, and her own agitation making her unequal to the task, she found herself obliged, after an ineffectual effort or so, to stretch out her hand for the ring with the glove still on it. Dr. Cameron, feeling for her embarrassment, accepted the situation with his usual sang-froid, and holding the ring on the first joint, for it would not slip all the way down on a finger so protected, was on the point of uttering the sacred vow to love, cherish, and protect her, when through the hush of the moment there came an interruption so startling and so wild that every head turned, and more than one rosy cheek grew pale. It was a scream, an unearthly and terrified scream. Coming from where? No one could tell. Speaking of what? Fear, dismay, anguish, anything, everything that was out of accord with the scene it had so weirdly interrupted.